beautiful day, eh?
Glad you managed to get up in time to see some of it.
Oh, it's not often I see my old mates from Bradford. Turned out to be a most enjoyable evening, I thought.
One of the things you need to learn about this trade is to let customers do drinking. Hey, and don't muck about with them. I've only just put them in order.
You didn't know how to complain about last night. By heck, they were spending like drunken sailors.
I have noticed that your friends have a tendency to overindulge themselves.
Oh, Dry didn't come in here last night, did he?
He did not.
What the heck's he playing at, I wonder? Well, I told you that the vicar's going to use some of these on one of his stalls at the fete, did I?
You did.
And they are worth a bit, you know. You having so many and them all following on. I reckon Dry'll make a good arrangement with these. He's got a very good eye for this sort of thing, you know.
Well, he might not be so keen to fix up his stall now that we know about him.
I don't see how that alters things.
What happens if it rains?
Eh?
What happens if it rains on my calendars?
Well, put a plastic sheet over them.
Well, folk won't be able to see them properly then.
I'll have a word with Dry, see what he comes up with. Well, I could walk up to the farm this afternoon.
You've not been invited then?
What to?
Well, Sugdens are all going up to Dan Middleton's place this afternoon.
Well, they're going to see the twins, what of it?
From what I hear, it's going to be quite a do. Alison's been invited. Told me this morning.
She's their godmother.
Oh, you're their godfather.
What of it? Matt probably wants her to...
Vicar took a hand.
What's he to do with it?
Well, he came to see me, as a matter of fact. It were about Alison, but I'm not in a position to discuss it. We're in confidence, you see. Oh. Looks like Joe Sugden's not the only one who's going to get wed.
Sometimes, Amos, you have a disconcerting knack of being right. You seen this? Last night's paper?
What chance have I had? Rushed off my feet all evening.
Forthcoming marriages. Ainsworth, Ethel, Nee Troggett, to Snape, Cyril. Here, have a look for yourself.
You're never going to church in that.
Eh? No, just showing you.
You look like one of them Spanish fellas.
Hey, do you reckon so? No, this is what I'm wearing for the wedding. I'll have to get a decent tie, though. What do you think?
Looks nice on you.
It's what's in it that counts. I mean, I wouldn't look right in one of them Edwardian suits, would I?
Chris has got her heart set on an old-fashioned wedding.
It's all right for her to go togging up in fancy dress. I don't mind that.
Big day is your wedding, for both of you. You'll do us credit however you go.
Where is Jenny Road?
Helping Matt in cattle shed.
And you're up for milk. Yesterday she wouldn't lift a finger. Hey, I'll never understand women. Well, her. She's a lass, isn't she? Hey, nice this, you know. Ever so thin. Reckon it'll wear out?
Planning to live in it, are you?
Well, Chris bought it for me, so I've got to wear it.
What did she find you an Edwardian suit to wear and all?
I'm wearing this. Oh, and I've asked Matt to be best man.
You couldn't do better.
I had been thinking about Jack, though. I should have asked him, really. To be best man. You know, nice if he came.
I've written to him about the wedding. But I told him the 29th. Now you're talking about making it sooner.
Oh, I don't mind waiting if he can turn up.
Eddie Road, what's the rush?
No rush.
The father doesn't even know yet.
No. Well, happen he wouldn't want to turn up if he couldn't be best man.
What?
Jack. You know, it just seemed natural for me to ask Matt.
Well, Jack could see that.
Aye. I'd like him to be there, though. Fancy me getting wed before our Jack, eh? Hey, why don't we send him a telegram? Go on, I'll write out a message. I wonder what they'll make of our Chris.
See, has our own horses. So it's Dry.
Oh, I've heard.
I think it'd be nice to have some.
The way things are going, we might have to think about using workhorses again. Yeah, you'll be in your element at Dan Middleton's this afternoon.
Oh, I'm looking forward to it.
Pretty breeds horses, you know.
So I believe.
Jim Gimble was the last to use work horses around here. He had an old boy called Reynard Poulter who used to work them for him. He knew everything about horses, did Reynard. He's dead now, of course.
I wish farmers would start using them again.
Might be a bit difficult to find the equipment nowadays.
We ought to be able to find something. I mean, some farmers still do use them. Perhaps when Joe and I moved to Jameson's. Well, we're thinking of having some riding horses.
Oh?
You're going to be best man.
Well, I'd like to, but
But what?
all this dressing up lark.
Joe's going to do it. If he can, you can.
Oh, well, he didn't seem so keen.
He will be.
Just off. You've been saved from a fate worse than death. You should be delirious. I'll answer it.
If that's Ben Skip, I'm not in the mood.
On a Sunday. Any road. I've had enough of Mr. Benskip. We'll get the builders in and tell him what we want ourselves.
About time, too. It's what I've wanted all along.
Woolpack. No, I haven't. We're not open yet. Well, as a matter of fact, I want to see him myself. Who shall I say? Oh, yes. And you're at the Feathers. Right, Celia Summit or other, wanting dry. Tell him, will you?
If I see him, Mr. Wilkes.
Reminds me of you, that.
Sugden. No, N. N for nut. Ah, that's right. Oh, right, you will. Yes, that's all. Is that all I have to do? Right. Thank you very much, then. Bye. Well, it's on its way. Mind you, I'm worn out. Can't they spell anything?
Not sure with the telegram.
Come on, you'll be late. Hey, you look nice.
See? Don't need no fancy suits. This'll do me.
We've been over that.
The servant car?
Yes.
Oh, well, that's something. And no dawdling after church, even if folk do get heart attacks seeing you there.
They'll just have to feast their eyes.
We're leaving straight after lunch.
That meeting's expecting us. Put that in, Cowley, Chris, and it's there. Won't forget it.
Right. Hope she likes the present I bought her.
You think we said enough?
It's a telegram, not your life history. Tells Jack all he needs to know.
You think he'll come for the wedding?
We'll have to wait and see, won't we?
place goes on forever.
Ah, it does.
Couldn't be envious of a place like this. It's too much to take in.
Ah, wouldn't do, mate. I like the farm to be more, well, you know.
Compact?
Oh, that's it. Compact. Everything with an easy reach. Peg used to think this place was marvellous. Mind you, he's built a lot since then. Peg always said if she had a little girl, she'd like her to look like Bridie.
Sally may well. They grow up so fast these days.
How do you feel about it?
Is your Uncle Ben?
Here we are, then. It was only Mr. Ruskin wanted to talk to Mr. Middleton. We lended him gig, you know, for fete at Beckindale. Now, where was I? Of course, on top of everything else, what do you think he's going in for now?
Wool.
Wool? Aye, Mr. Middleton reckons it'll pay. There's a shortage, you know.
Well, wool is very pricey, I know that.
Of course, when you two get married, you'll be able to grow your own, won't you, Matt, eh? Oh, here they are, then.
Matt, I've been thinking about us.
Come on, I want to get a picture.
Ah, here we are.
Hey, come on, let's get a picture. Right, hold it there, will you? Alison, you stand in front of the wheel. Oh, Peter, can you hold Sally up? Here you are. Oh, look this way. What's the birdie? That's it. Lovely.
Now can you see yourself riding in that, in a grey topper and everything?
No, I can't. I don't mind riding round in it.
Look, what does it matter what you wear as long as you're together? Brother Jack be at the wedding?
Oh, fancy him, do you?
All in all.
Well, there's only two of us to go round, see?
Get off, you tough beggar.
Hey. What are you asking?
500. Not bad. You buying, Joe?
Well,
Oh, I did enjoy that. It must be the best birthday I ever had. I said so, didn't I?
Ah, you did, love, you did.
Now, Matt, you had better take the babies inside.
all right.
Can I take some?
Oh, well.
You've come a long way, Dan Middleton.
Aye. 4 pigs and a goat behind welding shed.
Your Kitty hated them pigs.
Pity she's not here to see all this.
Still, you've done well, raising young Bridie. Not easy without a mother.
Well, I hope she finds herself a nice, enterprising young fella. Hey, do you remember when your Jacob was carting round that pig that we killed without a permit in war?
You got it into more mischief.
Well, we was only youngsters. And balding it and ended up hiding it in his privy.
Hey, I remember that.
How many times have I told you not to do that when babies are about? It'll spoil the taste of your tea, Mr. Middleton.
She frightens me to death.
Oh, she does me and all.
Dad.
Hey! Hey! Shouldn't you take this off first? How long have you been doing this job? Well, I've never seen it done like that before. And what about that?
Well, I don't know what we did before we had Mrs. Doughton here. I reckon she could run this place all on her own. Keeps us all in order. And Ben, quiet and thorough. Well, here we are. Children all grown up, your Joe getting wet. Only seems like yesterday when my Bridie was that high. We shouldn't leave it so long before we all get together again like this. They make a nice couple. Is he thinking on her? Oh, I know. I should know better than to ask you, Annie Sugden. I must admit I was surprised to hear Joe a wedding job Bob Sharp's daughter. She seems a nice lass. Happen she'd settle down in her ways a bit for now.
can you let me have a couple of jars of those cherries? Sunday night and Amos runs out.
Oh, all right, but don't pay me.
Yes. Oh, and get us a case while you're ordering, can you? I can't do with buying in dribs and drabs.
Oh, excuse me. It's being in the open air most of the day.
Oh, it's good for you. Relaxing. Good day, was it?
Matt's Auntie Beatty stuffed us like Strasbourg geese. It was fine. Quite a place, Dan Middleton's. He's a nice man.
Ah, it's not a bad sort. Things all right with her?
Yes, I've only just this minute got back.
Yes, I saw from across the way. No, I meant, were you all right?
Oh,
I was worried in case, you know.
I'm fine. I appreciate your asking. Can't remember the last time I was the centre of so much attention.
Well, concern for you, that's all.
Yes, I know. Henry, I'm not going to marry Matt.
Oh, I wasn't trying to...
No, I know. Most people seem to know where Matt and I are heading, but I'm not so certain. Something Dry said made me see that.
Have you told Matt?
Haven't told him because he hasn't actually asked me to marry him. Would you like a cup of tea? I'm making one.
No, not just now. Best get back. I'm expecting somebody.
Henry, it might be an idea if you find someone to run the shop.
What? But...
Well, I'd like to get away. To think.
Oh, yes, of course. I'll see to the shop. You'll get away for a holiday.
Not just for a holiday.
For good?
I don't know. When you look at us, we're all in the same boat, you, me and Matt.
Ah, you could say that.
I had hoped to talk to Matt today, but we never really got to be alone. Talked about Peggy most of the time when we did.
Oh.
It's not that I'm jealous of his dead wife's memory or anything. I've got memories of my own, and we've talked about that. I'm very fond of Matt, and I enjoy his company, but it's not enough to base a marriage on. And Matt's only fond of me. The difference is, it would work for him. It would be enough.
You're not in love with him, and he's not in love with you. You sure Matt sees it that way?
We're just two rather lonely people leaning a bit heavily on each other at the moment, that's all. Nobody knows this except you.
Naturally, I wouldn't.
So Mr. Ruskin didn't have anything to worry about, did he?
Oh.
Isn't that what you came to find out?
Coming across later for a drink?
Yes, I'd like to. Don't forget these.
Oh.
Mr. Wilkes?
No, really.
Oh, Will Paget. You might know the name. My grandfather's in churchyard here. Buried.
Oh, aye.
It's Mr. Wilkes, the proprietor I'm looking for. Is he about? Have a pint while I'm waiting. Tell him Paget, the builder, to see him.
Ma, Celia's outside. Can you make her a cup of tea or something?
Celia?
Aye. She were here when me and Chris got back from milking.
How long's she been here?
Oh, I think all afternoon up by Dry's tent.
Some people want something to do.
Why doesn't she come in?
Well, looks like she's been crying or something.
Dad, take your tray and pan.
You go in, parlour.
Do I have to tell you twice? Come on.
Oh,
Read your papers. I haven't seen them yet. Oh, open door, mate.
Oh, this place is full of falling women, or else it's fainting. I don't know.
Come in.
Come on, sit yourself down. I'm just making tea. You like yours weak, don't you? Thank you.
Christine says they've been looking at horses today.
It's a new notion that's taken her fancy. I don't think she's thought about the cost of keeping one.
Yes, it's becoming quite a problem.
What happens to Mr. Dry's horses when he's away?
He only has two. His brother rides them. You'd think he'd miss them.
Happen he does.
He's been away nearly 6 months now. I'm sure they miss him. I do.
I'll miss him.
Why? You won't have the chance. He's dug himself in here. I know the signs. I shall do the same. I've got a list of flats in Harrogate. I'm sure there'll be one that's bearable.
I think you'll be wasting your time, lass.
It's a game we play. When we're bored, we'll go home. Surely you're not fooled by all this tent business.
I'm not usually fooled by anything. Or anybody, come to that. If you love Mr. Dry, you'd do better to go home. Sitting up there crying about it won't bring him back to you.
I was angry. So would you be. But I can sit it out.
Some things, when they're chased, run all the faster.
You don't understand our relationship.
You sure you've got one? Seems to me you've got everything in the world but one thing. So that's the thing you've got to have. That's human nature, not love. I understand that all right.
You're right about almost everything. But I do love Dryden, and he loves me.
Then go home. Because he's not here, lass. He's moved on.
His tent's still there.
What's the price of a tent to him? He's gone, lass. I know the signs and all.
And you can see the next episode of Emmerdale Farm tomorrow at 12 noon.